Okay. So today, we are going to discussing about this. We are completely into now Selenium. So in the last class we discussed about the locators and all. So now from today onwards we are completely into Selenium. Okay. So from today it is very important, guys. We are going to completely into Selenium. We are going to try. Uh, by having the knowledge of these locators and basic stuff of Selenium. So now we are completely getting into the technical part of Selenium. So from today we are going to discussing about few commands are there. So whenever we are going to perform actions, so whenever we want something, say for example when we are doing an automations, we need to perform some actions on the web elements, and we need to get the details from the web, web page. So like that, so for that, for each and everything, we have a commands. Okay. So by making use of the commands, we can fulfill our requirements. So we have so many commands. So first, we will start one by one. So we have commands browser commands. So browser commands, we call it as get command is there, get title command is there, get current URL is there, get page source is there, close is there, and quit is there. We will see one by one. So basically get, we are using get, right? We have already used get, right? So in order to open the URL from the browser, so we use the get method. Okay. So get method is basically expecting one parameter as a string. So we have to pass that parameter as a URL inside that get method, so that it will open that particular browser. Okay. So whenever we open any web page, right? So for that particular web page we will be having a title, right? So for example, what I'll do, I'll just try to open amazon.in. Okay. So if I open this Amazon.in and see, if I inspect the page and if I search for the title, so this Amazon will be there, right? So this Amazon itself is the title basically. So what I'll do, I'll just do control F and title. See, if you see the title of the page, if we expand this section, so see here, online shopping site in India, shop online for mobiles, books, watches, shoes, and more. Amazon.in. This complete string, we call it as the title of the particular web page, right? So whenever we are working on the framework, so we will get this title. So the few mandatory test case will be there. So whenever we open any web page, so we have to uh, get the title of that particular page, right? So get current URL is like, say for example, we've opened multiple pages from Selenium. So where exactly the Selenium WebDriver intact will be there, right? So for example, the Selenium opened multiple browsers. Say for example, if you do click on the link, if it is opening multiple pages. Say for example, what I'll do open a new tab. So say for example, if we have two pages like this, so then say for example Selenium is working on this particular page, so it will get this current URL of this page even though two pages of the Selenium open. So where exactly the WebDriver control is, so that particular page URL it is going to get. Okay. So then we have get page source. Basically if you do right click and if you we see here, we have something called view page source. Say open link, open create save link, open save as copy, save as. Okay. So if you go here and if you go to inspect, if you go to source page, actually you will get one more option called view page source. So for that particular page, whatever the source code is written, right? So all that code will be we are going to get by making use of this command. So close command is it will close the current open browser from the Selenium. quit will be like, if it is opened multiple browsers from Selenium, so it will close all the browsers. Okay, so that is the small difference between this close and quit. So then comes like, web element commands. So these are the commands we are going to applying on the browser, right? So that is the reason these are browser commands. So then we have something called web element commands. So clear command is there, click command is there, get text is there, is selected is there, is enabled is there, is displayed, get size, and send keys. Say for example, clear, what it will do, say for example, if some text is already entered in this particular search box, so if I use the clear method, it will clear this text. Okay, so that is the this clear method is used for. Click will be like, as we have already know that click will do the click action on the particular target web element. So get text is like, say for example, if I want to get that like, mm, the text of any particular web element. Say for example, this is one web element, I want to get this text of this particular web element, so then we can use that command to get the text. Okay, so then is selected and is enabled and is displayed are like, we call it as a conditional commands. So like, is selected is like, say for example, if we have one checkbox, if it is enabled, say for example, if we have one radio button on the web page, if that is radio button is selected, so I'll open one more page. Facebook, log into Facebook, we have any checkbox. Okay, here we do not have. What I do, create a Facebook account, we'll see. So if I want to create, if I want to register, see here we have gender, male, female, custom and all, right? So say for example, if this is selected, if it is selected, so then if we use this command, so then it will return true or false. Okay, so this will work based on like, boolean condition. If is selected means, so the command itself is indicating that it is selected or not. So that's it. If it is selected, then it will return as true. If it is not selected, then it will return as false. Okay, so is enabled is like, say for example, on the web page, so there will be so many web element available. Few web element will be disabled to show it on the web page, few web element will be enabled to show it on the web page, right? So in such situation, whether that web element is enabled, I mean, it is visible on the web page or not, like that it will return. This is also written as a result of boolean results. It will return basically true or false. Is displayed is like, say for example, if any web element we are looking, is whether that is displayed on the web page or not, like that it is got to check. Okay, so get size is like, whenever we will be returning multiple web elements, right? So how many records are there, how many web elements are there, so this get size will get the size of that particular web element. Send keys, as we already know that it will send the string value to that particular web element. Say for example, if I send some string into this particular web element, so this is the string which is going to send to that particular web element, making use of these commands. Okay, so then we have like, navigation commands. First we will try these commands though, so then we will get into navigation commands. Okay, so we will go back to Eclipse, and so we will create one new dedicated class for this to try these commands. So new class I am going to create, so we call this class as WebDriverCommands. Okay, So I need main method, I'll select main method and I'll click on finish. So it is loading. So it is loaded. So what I'll do, I'll just do like some kind of prerequisites, right? So that prerequisites I'll copy paste I'll copy from my old code and I'll paste it. So in order to save the time. So these are the prerequisites we in order to open the URL, right? So we need to set the system properties that where exactly my Chrome driver is available. So then I have to create an object reference for this Chrome driver class. So then I have to do some kind of timeout. So then I'm maximizing the window. So now exactly I am using that driver dot get. Okay, see as we discussed, this get method will be used for opening the URL on the web page, right? So this is the method. So as we see here, the as soon as we as soon as it is showing in the suggestion itself, right? So what I'll do get. Okay, see, this is the get method which is expecting one string URL, a parameter. Okay, so the moment when we pass it as a string as a URL, so then it is going to open that particular URL and the so this particular object itself, it will launch the browser, right? So in that browser, so this get method will pass this URL so that it will whatever the URL we passed, so that URL will be opened on the browser. So this is the get method. So we need to pass this. This is expecting the URL to be passed. Okay, so that parameter we have to pass it as a string. Okay, so for now I'll pass this as a string, pass this as a parameter. So now I am passing this. Okay, so now what it will do is it will open the browser, and after opening the browser it will open the URL which we sent in the get method. Okay, so guys, it is open the browser. So it is okay. Okay guys, I got it. Okay, so this is the issue we are having with I am using the Chrome latest version 311. Okay, so I am using the Selenium version 4.8. I think I'll recheck it once. So I think I am using 4.8.1. So that is the reason we are getting this issue even though browser is launching. So my URL is not getting open. So this is actually an issue. So it this issue is fixed in Selenium 4.8.3. So the latest version of Selenium is recently it got released. So that is 4.8.0. So I am using 4.8.1. So this issue is only with the 4.8.1 plus Chrome latest version 311. Okay, so in order to fix this issue quickly, what I'll do, so we just have to add one Chrome option. Okay, so apart from that, nothing. So we no need to worry about it. So we have something called locators in Java. So I'll open this class and we just have to add these two lines of code. That's it. These three lines of code. So you guys don't have to worry about it. So this issue is already fixed in Selenium 4.8.3. So now I'll save this quickly. So I'll close this browser. So now I'll run this. So it will open the browser. I mean it will open the URL. Okay. now it is opening the browser, maximize the window, so then it is open that particular URL. Okay, so this is how the get method or get command will be used. So get method is only used for opening the browser on the web, opening the URL on the web page. Okay, so this is how the get command works. So now we will get into the second method, get title. Okay, so now here we have to observe a little bit. So I'll inspect this page. So I'll just try to find what is the title. See, the title is sign up for Facebook. Okay, so this is the title. When I inspect this page, I am getting the title. Okay, so if I can get this title from our Selenium code, what I have to do, what I have to write. So this is what I have to write. Driver dot get title. One method is there. So this method is not expecting any parameter, but it is returning one string. Okay, so I'll show you get title. Okay, so it is not expecting anything from the user, but it is returning the title as the value. So as it is returning one string value, I will store it in one string variable. Okay, so title like that, so variable name. So now, so it is getting the title from the uh, website, and it is returning that as a string, right? So I am storing it in one string variable. So what I'll do, I'll just print that value. Sysout control space bar, so then pass this variable. Okay, so now click on save. Okay, so now I'll execute the code. What happens once? So guys, it is open the browser. So now if I go to console, so this we got, right, sign up for Facebook. So this is what this print statement. So this print statement has printed the value of title. So the title variable is having driver dot get title. So driver dot what it will do is like it will go to this particular page, and it will get this particular title. That's it. Okay, so you guys have to remember these WebDriver commands. These commands are very useful.
Papa, is there any possibility like if a single page having multiple titles?
No. It will be only
Okay,
one title. Okay. So the title is
one title.
basically, if you look at the title, it will be always be there in the header section. Okay. So if you
Uh-huh.
closely look at the nodes, base nodes of the HTML, it starts with HTML, ends with HTML, and two tags basically, head tag and
That
body tag. Okay. So inside the head tag, our title will always be there. So there won't be any question of two titles for the web page. So you may think
okay.
like this is one title and this Facebook is one title. It is not like that. Actually, what they have coded inside this HTML code, that is what exactly the title is. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So then we will move to the next command, get current URL. So okay. So now what I'll do, I'll try to the Selenium is interacting this particular page. So I'll use this particular method in order to get what exactly the URL of that particular page. Okay, so driver dot get. So see, the moment when we type get, all the methods, all the methods available for that particular get, right? So we have to use current URL. So it is also returning one string variable. I'll save it in string variable, string current URL. So we can give any name. So I'm just trying to provide on some meaningful name. That's it for the variables. So we'll print this value. Okay, now run the code. See guys, so like now our Selenium has written that particular page URL. Okay, so whenever if I want URL or title for any kind of an verification, we can get those things by making use of these commands. Okay, so then we will move to the next.
Bappa, actually, we are passing through get on, right? We are passing the URL, right?
Yeah,
Then,
yeah,
like, what is the use of getting the same URL through this? Like, is there in, like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we can, okay, in
See,
any way we are using, okay.
uh, what I'll do from this particular page, I'll do I'll do already have an account click. Okay, so now this particular URL got changed. So earlier
Hmm.
whatever the URL we were using is different, and click of this particular uh, button, so the URL got changed, right? So the same thing. So if we click on any link, if you click on any button, it opens the pop-up. So the URL will be it will be opening for multiple different things for multiple URLs, right? So in that case browser is in exactly the WebDriver is in which particular page, like that we will get to know if we get the URL current URL of the web page, right?
Okay, 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 okay,
You got it
okay,
right.
got
Say
it,
for
got it. Yes,
example,
yes,
if
yes.
I open one pop-up from the main page, so if I can get the URL where exactly my WebDriver is in contact
Yes, yes,
intact,
yes.
so that
Ah,
by looking at the URL I can think like my WebDriver intact is in this particular page, right? So that is the
got it,
benefit.
got it.
Okay.
Okay, clear.
So then, so this we will get the URL. So then we will go to view page, so get page source. Okay, so this will get the whole HTML code of the particular page source. Okay, uh, for this also driver dot get page source one method is there. So directly I'll write it in sysout. Okay, so instead of storing it in one variable, what I'll do inside the system dot out dot println only I'll write this code driver dot get page source. So it will directly print the value. So instead of storing it in variable, so I am directly printing on the console. That's it. See guys, this the whole code, it is it is printing on the console. So if I copy this into the notepad, so this will be the exactly whatever the code we are able to see from our inspect, right? So if I go to this particular page, I close this, and this is the page source actually. So here we are able to see the head tag, right? So this is HTML lang equal to en. So this is same thing. So then comes at head and title. So then like that the whole complete code it will return. Okay, so generally we will not use these things in real time, this view page source and all. So for information it will be helpful. So we can these are the commands available. Okay, so we just we can try these things. So close and quit, I'll come back after this web element commands. So let these commands is there, so I need to open multiple things. So that will be there, that I'll explain. So now we will go to the clear method. Okay, so in order to work with clear method, what I'll do, so I'll comment out this page source code. Okay, so simply it will slow down the performance. So what I'll do, first I'll enter some values into this particular field. Okay, so after entering the field, I'll clear the field. So whether it is removing that particular text or not, that we will see. Okay, so this is the uh, HTML code for that. I'll just try write one XPath, simple XPath for this, double slash and the star square bracket, and I'm using the rate name property. So inside the single quote value of the name. So it is returning only one web element, so that is the only web element available on that particular web page. So what I'll do, I'll quickly directly driver dot find element by dot xpath. So I'll send this xpath and send keys. I'll pass some random values xyz. Okay, so now it will enter the value. So in order to see the changes, I'll wait for some time. I'll add a thread dot sleep. Okay, some for 3 seconds we will add so that we can see the changes. Okay. So surround it in try catch black. So then go and driver dot find element by dot xpath. So this is the xpath and we have to use clear method here. So these are WebElement commands. So these are applicable for the web element. So that is the reason first we have to apply these methods. So we have to use these methods on the web element. So that is the reason we are using on the web element. So earlier we were directly using driver.get and driver. Get current URL, get title like that, right? So these things will not work like that. So these things will be works on the particular web element, right? So that is the reason I'm using these methods with respect to the web elements. So first what I'm doing is like I'm sending some values to that web element. So after that I'm clearing that web element. Okay, so I'll run this code. So now it is send the value xyz and it is removed. Okay, so that is how the clear method works. Okay, so whatever, if any value present on that particular web element, so it will remove the value. So that's it. So this will be like, in real time, if I can say. So if we are not sometimes what happens is like in the web page, if you did not refresh the page, it will not clear the values on the text fields, right? So in that case we have to remove the values and we have to enter the text. Say for example, without removing the text, if say for example, if already xyz is there in the particular text box, so if we are not clearing any value from this text box and if we are again trying to send some values to this particular text box, so it will append that whatever the extra entered text is there, right? So that will append with the old existing text. So that is the reason we have to clear the old text so that new text will be added. So otherwise it will append the value so that we will not get the exact results. Okay, so now comes click. So click we have already seen, right? So what I'll do, I'll just quickly click on this particular web element. We'll do click elements. So this is type name equal to submit, right? So we have already written export for this. It is locating only one web element. Go back to the Eclipse and after clearing the values, we'll do driver dot find element by dot xpath. This is the xpath and I'll just do click. We have already seen this, but still. So it is entered a value and it will clear the value and it is clicked on the sign up button. So that is the reason it is asking us to enter the mandatory fields. So that's it. So then we'll go to the next method called GetText. Okay, see for example, in this particular page, uh, what I will do, mm, say for example, this is what I'll see first. Okay, so this is h2 tag and inside this h2 tag we have the text, right? So see first current element. So this is a div, and inside the div we have Facebook. Okay, so for this element what I'll do, I'll at the rate id equal to header. It is locating only one web element, so I'll use h1. So this is the exact element for this particular web element, right? So it is locating only one web element. So in this web element we haven't used any name and etc. Say for example, we don't know the name of that particular web element. So by making use of get text, so it will get the text of that particular web element. So what I'll do, so I'll for now I'll comment out this click method, driver dot find element by dot xpath. So I'm passing the xpath. So then use get text. Okay, so that it is going to get the text. So it will be string. uh, so let us assume this is the text. So I'll print this value. So what is the text? I'll save the program and I'll run the code. Okay, we'll go back to Eclipse. It should get the text, but it is not getting.
But Bappa, that page will open after click of the submit, right?
No,
I
no,
think.
no. So I'm just trying to get this particular text. So without clicking also we should get it. So what I'll do, so it is not even throwing the proper error. So what I'll do is just remove this h1 and I'll run the code again. I close this. It is removed. Then go back. It is still not getting. So for some other element we will try now. So if we go to this particular place, so this is the first element. So for this, if I write an XPath, copy XPath, we'll replace this with this. So it should get the text as the first name, right? Should get that text. Yeah. So now we are getting this first name as this text, right? So this text is having this first name. Okay. So then come back to this thing. So then is selected. So now what I'll do some first what I'll do. So whether this checkbox is selected or not, like that, I'll check. Okay. So by default it will not be selected. Okay. So I'll refresh the page. It is not selected. Okay. So it should return false for me. So this is the element available, and so the type is radio. How many are there with type is radio? I think type equal to radio. So we have 5 elements. What I'll do quickly. So here we have any ID also. Oh, ID we have already. So for this ID will be same for methods. We'll write ID equal to so we have four elements so still okay. So, but okay, I'll write on next path for this particular method. Right. Reverse engineering I have to do it seems. So what I'll do, I'll use text method equals so it is locating only one element. So I have to go back to this input, right? So for that, what I'll do, I'll use one concept called preceding. So actually, so I should go to input, right? Parent will go parent. So then I have to go to label. Okay. So then I have to come back to input. Okay. So now we are exactly at this particular position. So I'll copy this and I'll see whether it is selected or not. Okay. So driver dot find element by dot xpath. So this is the xpath and I'll use method called IsSelected. Okay. So it will return one boolean value, right? So I'll store it in one boolean variable type. Boolean flag. Say for example flag. So I'll print this value. Flag is my value and I'll put it inside this. So it should return like whether it is selected or not. So first time it is not selected, so obviously it will return false. So our expectation is also false, right? So I need to check that whether it is returning correctly or not. See guys, like it is written false actually. Uh, this is written false. Now what I'll do, I'll click on this element, so it will be selected, right? So what I'll do, I'll copy this code. I'll do click on that particular web element so that it will be selected. Again I'll check whether it is selected or not. Okay. So whether I'll check this time I'll store it as inside flag 2. Okay. So first time it did not select the flag because by default it will not be selected. So second time what I'll do, I did click on that particular element so it will be selected. So again I'm checking like whether it is selected or not. So this time it should be selected because we did some kind of click on that, right? So it will be obviously it will be selected. So now first time in this case it will return false, then I'll do click on that particular web element, it will be selected. So it will go and check like whether it is selected or not, it will be selected. So I'm printing like what exactly the thing. So if it is selected it will return as true. So I'll save the code and I'll run this. I'll so for that, so we'll comment out these lines of code necessarily these are so let this. So I'll run the code. So this time it is clicked, okay. So first time it should return false, then second time it is written true. First time it is written false because by default it will not be selected. So then I did click on that element. So then it got selected. So then my condition is checking whether it is selected or not. So if it is selected, it is returning as true. Okay. So that is how we have to check this condition. So then comes other things. So we'll go to the next method. So the next is enabled or not. So in the same web element only we will check whether it is is enabled or not. I'll put it inside sysout only directly. Driver dot find element by dot this xpath dot is which one displayed, right? Okay. So now I'll execute my code.
Is enabled, right?
Is enabled or displayed also. Okay. Next time we'll see is enabled. So now this is displayed, so that is the reason it is returning true. So this first false and true is for is selected. So the second thing is true is displayed. So because that particular checkbox is displayed on the web page. So now we will check for is enabled. Instead of is displayed, we will use is enabled. Okay. So now I'll execute the code.
So it is nothing but like whenever it is a permission based. So whether it is displaying or not, that kind of
Exactly,
way it will.
exactly. So if
Uh,
permission is disabled for particular use, so
hmm,
that will not be displayed on the web page, right?
correct. Yes, yes. That
So
time it will show like whether it is.
it will return false.
Okay.
So if you go to this particular first false and true will be for is selected, second true is for is displayed, and third true is for is enabled. So this enabled and this selected don't get confused. So this selected means checkbox selected. Enabled is for it is a kind of HTML thing, whether that particular is enabled to display on the web page or not. Okay, so generally we use this terminology to for checkboxes also. Checkbox is enabled or not, like that you check. Checkbox is disabled or not, like that you check. So it is not for the UI elements. It is for the HTML elements, like whether it is enabled to display on the web page or not. Okay. So if I closely observe this HTML code, say for example, I'll show you. Okay, 1 second. I'll close this.
But I think your voice.
My voice is breaking.
Yeah,
Hello.
sorry. Now it's clear. Now it's clear. Yes, yes, fine.
Okay. So now what I'll do control F5. Disable. If I search for disable, see. So area disabled true. So if area disabled is true, so then this particular web element will not be present on the web page. Okay. So if disabled button is not there, if disabled flag is not there in the HTML code, then only that web element will be present on the web page. Wherever this is applied, that will not be displayed on the web page. So this enabled is going to check for this thing. Okay. So that is the thing. So now we have done this, right? So then get size and send keys. Okay, so get size, we'll see for get size. So somewhere we have to try for get size, right? Okay, class equal to p. We'll remove this star. Class equal to p. Okay, so now if you closely observe this HTML code, we have three classes with class name p. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll make use of this Selenium code. I'll find how many classes are available with this class name. Okay, so driver dot find. So in this case we have to go for find elements because this class name contains multiple elements, right? So that is the reason. By dot xpath. So inside this xpath you pass this xpath. So then you do get size. So not get size, directly it is size. Okay, so then we will store it in one int variable, int size of class. Okay, so here it is written, it is not get size, actually it is directly size. Okay, so then I'll print this one. This out, control space function, then do get size. Okay, so it should return 3 because 3 classes are there with that name. See guys, it is returning 3. So it means, so it is having 3 classes with p name. The size is going to get how many things, how many web elements are there with this XPath. So that's it. With this XPath, so in the inspect we've seen that 3 are there, right? 3 matching elements are there. So that is the reason 3 classes are there with the class name p. Okay, so that size is going to return. So we can check for like this, in many places it will be used. Okay, we can check in real time. So send keys method, as we have already know that send the values to the particular text box, right? So we have already seen. So we'll quickly go and send some values. Driver dot find element by dot xpath. So we will write one xpath for one text
But
box.
my voice is not clear.
Yeah.
Maybe it's having an issue with me or I'm not sure.
Yeah, now it is clear. So now we will see that name, it is p. Okay, only one element is present. Now it is clear. So we will send the values to this particular
Yes,
web
yes, no.
element. Okay, so we will
Some
make,
lag is here.
use of
Wait, I will rejoin. Wait, I will rejoin once.
send keys. So send some values 1 2 3. So then save. So then we will run the code. So it has to send the values 1 2 3 4 to last name field. Okay, now the Chrome browser is started. So it is running and it is going to this particular website XYZ, and it is remove the value. See, now it is sending the value. So send keys is expecting some value from the user. So we have to send it as a string. So then it will send these values to this particular web element. So that is its meaning. Okay. So now we will see close and close. Okay. So now,
Papa, can you please explain the last one?
yeah, yeah,
I'm sorry, I was not able to hear.
so send keys method is one more web element command which is used to send the values to the web element which we identified on the web page. Say for example, this is the web page. Okay, so here we have one surname, right? So if I want to send some values to this particular text box, how I can send? So by making use of send keys, which is expecting what values we need to send to this particular web element. So in order to send the values, first we need to find this particular element. So I have written XPath for this particular element. So for this web element, what I'll do, I'll make use of this thing, driver dot find element by dot xpath. So I'll pass this XPath. So this is the element. For this element I need to send the values. So for this we have one method called SendKeys. So this SendKeys method is expecting the values from the user. So we have to send what values we have to send it. So I'll just simply press some random values called TT. So what it has to do is like it will send the TT values to this particular web element. Okay, so that is the whole concept. So if I run this code, it will send the values TT to that particular web element. See, now that values are sent to this particular web element. Okay, so now we will see this something called quit and close. Quickly we will see, and we will open one site called Expire tutorials for this tutorials. So we have something called selling properties and window handles, right? So click on this window. It will open one window. Okay. So now this is the URL I wanted to try. Okay. So before that, what I'll do, I'll just comment out this code. Copy this code to the next line. So I'll open this particular website and open this particular page. After opening the page, I'll click on this particular web element so that it will open the new window. So if you go to this particular place, this is the ID. Control F star square bracket at the rate ID equals. So this is the only one element is located. So I have to click on this so that it will open two browsers. Driver dot web dot by dot xpath. So this is the xpath. Then I have to do CLICK. Okay. So now, so the browser will open two sites. Okay, two windows it will open. First one is parent window and second one is pop-up. So it is opened the main browser. So it is opening the URL and it is did not click on this page. See guys, see now you see here closely. I did click on this particular web element, so it is open two browsers. Okay, so now I'll use driver.close and driver.quit. We will see the difference. So this I'll close. So after opening this, I'll just simply use driver.close. Driver.close. Save this and I'll close these two as well. I'll what I'll do, I'll execute the code. So this site is loading. So let this load. So it is opened. uh, it is clicked on that particular page. See, if you close this, see here, the parent page is closed, only this pop-up is uh, open. So by seeing this, we can understand that close is currently closing only one browser where exactly my WebDriver is in intact. Okay, where exactly WebDriver control is there. So basically the WebDriver control was there in the parent page, not on the pop-up which opened after clicking on the button. So that is the reason it did not close on this, but it did not close this pop-up. So but it is closed that parent window. So now what I'll do, instead of driver.close, I'll use driver.quit. So this time it should close both the browsers. I'll execute this.
Papa, if I want to close the instead of parent this pop-up I want to close, then how we can use it?
That we have one more concept called window handles. Okay, so that I'll tell you when window handles comes. Only exactly pop-up if we have to close, so that we
No.
have to switch our control to that particular pop-up. From there, if we want to do any actions, we can do. See, now it is closed both the both the browsers. So we have one more scenario. Not only this, one more scenario is there. Okay, so that we will try. So this, let this browser open, not this browser. So there is one more thing called opening the tab. So on clicking of this particular button, what it is doing, like it is opening one more tab, right? So we'll inspect this.
Instead of pop-up. Correct.
Instead of pop-up, it is opening one more browser. So in this case also, Selenium will not close both. I mean driver.close will not close both also. So it will close only one parent thing. So let this same URL be there. I'll comment out this quit. I'll do driver dot find element by dot xpath. I have to do click on this option. So after clicking on this, it will open two tabs. So let this load. So it is clicked on the. So now it has two pop-ups, right? So in this case, I'll use driver.close and driver.quit. What happens, we'll see. So driver dot close, I'll use. So I close this thing. Okay. So now I'll run this code. See, now it opened now it closed the old window and it opened second one. Okay. So now instead of this, I'll use driver.quit. So it should quit both. So I'll execute this. See guys, now the complete browser itself it is closed. Okay, so that is how these commands works. So tomorrow we will see navigation commands and many other commands are there. So we will try one by one. Okay. So that's all for today. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.